Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This for our mouth for the Nebraska camp, man. And as you can see in post production, it says AI robot is able to have a baby. You know, Let me get the actual title. There's an article I'm reading. The still is not the same thing. I just, uh, double, you got to double check things. So when I seen the post or the picture, I went to look up some articles and I decided to go with the New York Post. Okay, this was published August 17th of this year, which was yesterday. Okay, it says pregnancy robots could give birth to human children, and revolutionary breakthrough and game changer in infertile couples. Now, there's a lot of bearing. The thing is that I also looked up something that was very interesting, and I want to bring out a scripture and speak on that as well. That I think is very important. Okay, and I want to look up this precept real quick so I can. 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." All right. So, the reason why I brought that out is Satan will come as a savior. And it led me to look up. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but it's going to come together. Okay. I looked up the devil works through convenience. Okay. In an AI overview, this is the AI overview's response. The saying "the devil works through convenience" suggests that evil or temptation can often exploit our desires for ease, comfort, and instant gratification. Okay, uh, microwaves. Okay, you can just have your food in 5 minutes, right? But they're not telling you you're nuking all the nutrients out of your food. Okay, they're not telling you the trade-off behind it. All right, and you may think you're progressing to somewhere, but you're progressing to death. Okay, you can have apples year round. It's GMO apples, seedless watermelon, right? So it's always convenience. That's how it starts off. Okay, and the trick bag is that whatever you leaving, you're not gonna go back to. Okay, like you don't have time for an oven. Okay, um, two women working to a man and a woman working in one household. Those days are over. I mean, not the days of two men, a man and woman working in one household, because that's the norm now. But it started off as convenient. Oh, you can make more money. Then they jacked up the prices for everything based off of two dependent working household. All right, and then it turns into, well, both of y'all are working. It turns into that. All right, so there's always a trade off with the devil. All right, which is deceiver, and Satan. All right, which is adversary. All right, Satan goes back to adversary. Devil goes back to deceiver. Okay, and Satan transforms himself to an angel of light. Your adversary turns into your best friend. All right, ain't no different from a car salesman, man. You know, in order to fuck you over, they got to make you feel comfortable. All right, because people do have some type of level of power in this society. Right, you can't just get up and do something that the 90% of the public do not agree, because it'll start anarchy and outrage and fight back. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man, our people are blinded through convenience. Cars, okay, money, likes, all right, comfort, okay, and that instant gratification demon, all right. So And that's the thing, is that people, you getting to a point that, microwavable foods and shit, you know, police, okay? You get to the point where you're living in a place of delusion to where you're not even competent to do the things that Babylon has provided for you, okay? Like, there's women that don't even know how to cook anymore. There's men that don't know how to uh, do manly things, okay? Change tires, change oil, hunt, all right? And through the convenience of the internet, aka YouTube, you could do it. You could look on the internet and learn how to gut a fish. You could go on the internet and learn how to change a tire, change your oil, okay? But it's different when that internet shuts off, okay? What's going to happen when they tell you you only get such and such amount of hours of screen time, or you only can look up certain amount of things, and now they got you by the balls, okay? Because you are helpless, and that's how Esau wants it. He wants the world to be helpless and completely reliant on him. So now you have this idea of an AI robot having baby, and it sounds convenient, but it's gonna come a time you're not even gonna be able to have a baby at all, because they might come out with a shot. Oh, you can have this permanent birth control, but through the convenience of the AI robot, you ain't got to worry about it. And the carnal nigga woman and women, period, they're very superficial of their bodies. All right. So let's go into another category of a statement. Okay. Um, let's get the facts real quick. Okay. So from the 1950s, before contraceptives were brought about and eugenics was fully implemented through Planned Parenthood, okay, during the 1950s, it was I can't see the total. Just the rate is at 7. It doesn't tell me the exact number, but I assume it's like 7 million or something like that, you know. But from the 1950s, it was at 7, and then once you get to the 2000s, all right, or they go all the way to 2100. All right, we're in 2025. See here, they got it by country. Trying to see. North America is horribly low. Once you hit, it was at 3, and then once you hit 1975, it dropped down to 2. All right, and it went a little bit below 2, in between 2 and 1. All right, I wish I could get the exact, the number of what they're calling out, and all the numbers are pretty much the same. This is by nation. I wish I could find it by race, but I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it percentage rate. So Salakia, I lost my place, so I might say something twice. Salakia for that if I do. But it's still the information. So I end up going on. I was trying to look up a site, but I'm just gonna go into it says USA Facts. It's the site I'm on. It says how fertility rates calculated. It says the CDC, or Center for Disease Control and Prevention. This is not medical information. Okay. I'm not telling nobody to do anything. All right. It's just me, giving my insight. It says define the general fertility rate as the number of live births per 1,000 women, ages 15 to 44. Okay. And it says here the fertility rate reached an all-time low in 2023. Okay. Number of births per 1,000 women, ages 15 to 44. In the 1950s, it was for every 1,000 women at 120 births. Okay. And then when you go fast forward to 2023, for every 1,000 women, it was 54. So the number dropped by double. Okay. And when you go into the AI overview once again, because I was stating that Satan works through comfort and convenience. Okay, again, it says the saying the devil works through convenience suggests that evil or temptation can often exploit uh, our desire for ease, comfort, and instant gratification. All right. This can be a subtle strategy where individuals are lulled into a state of spiritual complacency, only to be surprised by spiritual attacks when their guard is down. It implies that prioritizing convenience above all else can make us vulnerable to negative influences or choices that ultimately lead us astray or hinder our growth. Right? So when your friends in the world, they may have fun, they may, oh man, it's only one time and this and that is, oh, it ain't gonna hurt, and then leading you down a path, because it's fun up front, it leads on the back end, it leaves you fucked. Okay, when you follow bad company, right? But it's so fun up front, right? So when Esau tells you, oh man, let's read the article, because science always does that. And this article again was put out yesterday, August 17th, 2025. It says pregnancy robots could give birth to human children in revolution. Pregnancy robots could give birth to human children in revolutionary breakthrough and a game changer for infertile couples. See how the infertile. Again, why are people infertile? And it's mostly women. Okay, it's mostly women. Okay, contraceptives, letting somebody put a smoothie blender in your uterus, tearing and scarring up your ovaries. Okay, um, your diet, stress. Okay, and let's go to what the AI overview says. Why has the fertility rate dropped? It says the fertility rate has been declining due to a combination of social, economic, and health-related factors. Okay, with women's increased educational attainment and workforce participation, delayed childbearing, and the high cost of raising children being significant contributors. Okay, so once you go into the 1950s, let's go into what year did women start working? You got to follow the trail, man. Okay, women start working after what? World War II. All right. 19, it says women's labor force participation continued to rise with more women entering fields previously dominated by men and advocating for equal pay and opportunities. That's post 1970s. And women started working really in the 1940s, late 1940s, because of World War II. When men was leaving, they started making, the bullets and bombs in the factories and stuff like that. You had the woman with the arm, strong arm, and with the bonnet on her head, do rag on her head, and all that. Yeah, they got you conditioned through gradualism. you know, through gradualism. You start out working with a purpose. Oh, let me do this for, you know, and there was another statement where a lot of these women became Edomite women became jealous because they didn't have to work because their men was sending money home from the war. The end up was getting money, so they started becoming jealous, man. All right, and there's a lot of undertones and things that were involved in all that, and Jake don't bat an eye at it. You just let people tell you today and tell you how advanced. That's why niggas, it's 2025. Shut your stupid ass up, man. Things stem from something, man. All right? Your scatback, the idea of a scatback stemmed from the Ford Model T. There's a core. There's a reason why they made vehicles and they allow vehicles to be driven. Okay? There's a reason they allow things. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of technologies that's created that we don't have access to because it's not conducive to really a financial gain, but they'll tell you conducive to society. Okay? You can't take a fully automatic, you can't go buy fully automatic weapons here. You can't there, you can't get a car. Well, you could get a car, but certain cars aren't allowed. Your ass can't ride around here on no hovercraft or, just different random ideas. Okay? But getting back to what I was speaking on, the fertility rate, right? The fertility rate. And there's another thing, contraceptives. Let's see here. And going to that, what year did females contraceptives start? In the 1960s. So like this ain't by mistake. This all by design, man. Population control, and it's not working, and it specifically ain't working amongst Jake. Cause Jake, you got niggas, you got the Uncle Toms that'll get all into that, but the bulk of Jake is at we're the dead of the world. So Jake ain't getting all into. Jake barely be getting bank accounts, man. Jake be cash app and they still probably doing money orders. Jake a plain man, dwelling in tents, man. Okay, so and just like the poor always have babies, man. Okay, specifically Israel, because you go into the scriptures. So when you go into Exodus 1 and 12, it says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Yeah. All right. Because we're having babies still. Okay. It may be slowing up because you got city girl activity, but city girl activity don't slow it up because they get pregnant. All right. Having hella kids, and then they're messing around with the Medicaid and taking that away. You know, like you get these AI robot babies. Who's the daddy? Okay, that matters because who's gonna be the father? The government is. All right, how the hell are you gonna put the government on child support? Who's gonna put them on child support? How that's gonna be funded? Okay, you know what I'm saying? How that baby's gonna get breastfed? You gotta be. Your body has to agree with that in order for your body to start lactating milk. Okay, but you all like, oh, I ain't gotta go through the dangers of having a baby. I don't gotta lose my body, my breast starts sagging and my body start falling apart, or I don't gotta take off. And hey, ain't no more maternity leave. You alright? You alright? Oh, take your ass to work. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a robot dad. If you're a single mother, you women out there trying to find your way into, you trying to open your legs to a basketball, that's gonna be out the door. You know, niggas gonna be going to Harlot House and just buying some box and then going about their business because Esau changed the natural affections of things and turned it upside down. Matter of fact, let's go get that. In Romans 1 and 21, it says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart, which is their mind, was darkened. Okay, they think that we have AI robots, if we have contraceptives, I can then now you're getting breast cancer, stomach cancer, you know, Jake, men begin testicular cancer. Okay, the food's messed up. All right. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the incorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man. Because they'll sit there and justify and say, well, through science, the Lord gave me the mind. Why no, bro? He didn't give me the mind to do no dumb shit and do wickedness. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. Through the way he made us. He gave us a rod and gave them a quiver. And that's how it's supposed to work. Okay? There's a DNA exchange when you just have intercourse. Okay? So Satan's going to have their mind the whole time. You're not even going to say a prophet, put his arrow in a woman's quiver. That woman's going to take on the righteousness of that man, man. The godly intent of that man. But now she's not being penetrated, and you're just now that baby's gonna you're still in the mindset you're in, still gonna be rebellious because you're gonna follow your daddy Esau and the government, and then that baby, what kind of baby is that gonna be? Okay, baby, a serial killer and shit, don't even know it, or sleeper cell agent. Okay, it says, for this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Having a baby through an AI robot is against nature. That's not normal nature. You got an arrow, you got a quiver, you get together, ovulation, all that. That's normal. Okay? It says, likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman burn in the lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in them that recompense of their error which was meet. And this, in this particular scripture is talking about, in that time they was doing, sodomy and all that. All right. But this still falls under the same category because y'all doing things that's against nature. That's not natural. Okay. Growing a slab of a chicken in a lab is not natural. Okay. I was telling a brother the other day, he had a little like a fruit snack for the kids, and he was like, "Oh yeah," showing me. It was like, "Yeah, this got spinach in it, got carrot." I said, "I don't want it." "Oh, why not? It's spinach and carrot." I said, "I've never seen spinach and carrot in a pack that could last over 3 weeks. Last time I knew carrots, I put carrots and wrap it in a plastic bag and leave it outside. It's gonna spoil. So whatever they're telling you that's in that bag ain't that, because that's not natural for a carrot to do, or spinach. So I'm not that, Jake can't be simple, man. Okay? And let Esau just tell you shit. Oh, this is groundbreaking. This is revolutionary. Get the fuck out of here. You miss me with that. That's why they're gonna hit you. Not the brother in particular, but these Jakes out here gonna get hit with that MOTB because they're simple. They're very simple. Okay? It says, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them up over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents without understanding, covenant breakers without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Yeah, they're going, oh, I can have a hot girl summer, hot girl winter, I can go anywhere, I can go over this side of the world, get plucked up, and not have to worry about babies, and you just think about all the benefits. But then when you get that backlash, you're gonna be like, oh man, it's a bad idea, but ain't gonna be no turning back. Not only is that, you could have babies, they could be making hella babies, man. Producing adrenochrome pods and shit. Creating soldiers. Like Jake y'all just allow dumb shit to happen. Because Esau can't just hop up and just do that. He has to get the masses to agree with it. He can't just pop up and say, all right, we don't need no more U.S. troops. We make U.S. It's like niggas gonna be like, yo, I don't know nothing about this. What's going on? They're gonna kill us and they'll spaz out. Okay, you can't just slap a major thing like that on people, just like with the MOTBs. It's a gradual thing. Oh, where's my cat? Where's my dog? Where's my cat? Where's my dog? Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah. You know, money, health, the dispensing of medical medicine. There's an MOTB type of device that can disperse medicine into your body. And they say, well, yeah, you don't have to worry about overdosing or taking too much or too little. It's going to let loose the right amount, the right time by reading up. Come on, man. They're trying to sit on the throne as the Most High, man. And because of convenience, niggas are allowing it. All right, this ain't no cry for help. This is a call out for a warning. This is a trumpet being blown. Hey, don't go over there. That's stupid. Okay, but let me finish this article up. It says, just read it real quick. It says, there's a robot. All right, Salakia. They say, yeah, there's a robot for that. What a time to be alive. People are marrying AI robots, and now robots might soon be able to carry babies without natural affection. Reportedly, China is working on designing a bot with an artificial womb, which will receive nutrients through a hose in its abdomen that will soon be able to carry a fetus for approximately 10 months before giving birth, according to Chosen Biz. Okay? Let's see here. Read more. It says the pregnancy robot was conceptualized by Dr. Zhang Qifeng, Qifeng, founder of Kaiwa Technology, which is based in Guangzhou, Slovakia, if I'm destroying these names, in a city in China. If all goes according to plan, the prototype will make its debut next year. For those struggling to conceive, hiring a humanoid to carry their baby will cost 100,000 yuan, 13,000, a price significantly less than a human surrogate, which can cost somewhere in the U.S. anywhere from 100,000 to 200. See, it's convenience. Okay, the artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage, and now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy, allowing the fetus to grow inside. Okay, Qifeng told Kanzu Biz, Kosum Biz, many questions are still unanswered at this time, including how the egg and sperm will be fertilized and inserted into the womb and how the bot will give birth. Okay? Because like I was saying earlier, they're taking out the natural use of the man and the woman. Okay? When a man puts his arrow into a woman, there's a DNA exchange. She puts on the vibe of that man. All right? So if a woman has lays with a prophet, she'll take on that DNA, the tendencies. So now you already got women rebelling. Now she ain't gonna be able to be humble. Okay? She really gonna be a man. She can get her own job. She can have her own kids. Well, she can't have her own kids. And that's another thing. That's gonna lower you women down. Oh, that's what y'all like to say on the internet. Y'all need to respect women. We be bringing y'all to this world. Now it's over with. Now the robot's gonna do it. They're already, taking half of Eric Jake's jobs. They're taking roles. Okay? Like, how lazy are you niggas to allow so much to go on? Cause your ass want to go to a club. You ain't gonna be able to afford shit. You're not gonna be worth nothing to society to deserve to go to a club after a while. If your ass ain't no inventor, if you ain't no Mark Zuckerberg and all that, you're not gonna be able to afford it because you're gonna be in these 15-minute cities. They ain't gonna need you for shit, Keisha. What the hell is Esau gonna need you for? Alright? Becky? I don't care if you have a degree. If your ass ain't no engineer, no coder, what the hell they need you for? Hell, what the hell they need fucking Tom Brady's and Jordan's. Nigga, I could create one now. Okay? And I can make them white. I can make them Edomites. Nigga doing windmill dunks. You know? Bro, Jake just would give up everything. Lazy ass, man. No integrity. No backbone. Not willing to stand for something and take a loss for it. Everything got to be a come up. And thus, Satan transforming himself into an angel of light is going to lead y'all down a place of no return. Again, Esau Esau is that Satan. Okay? He's coming in the name of Satan. Just like Cain did. Okay? Really, he was coming in the spirit of Esau, but Esau and Cain and Satan all have the same spirit, man. Just like Adam, Jacob, and Israel have the same spirit. Okay? To follow the Lord. All right? And you trusting in the shadows of Egypt is going to get you caught the fuck up. So with that being said, give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, double honor to our apostles who are our elders, who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. Shalom.